Hey guys, so the other day I was wondering what I should do for my next video, and I haven't made a guide for a while, so I figured it's probably time for a good guide. So I started to do some research as to what was out there and what videos there were, and I found that there were a lot of offensive videos, and I don't mean offensive as in like things that you should be offended by, but I mean offensive as in mechanics and how to take certain trick shots, how to like conserve boost and all those things. And yeah, they're super important and they make the game a lot more fun, and they're definitely the flashy thing that you can do while playing. But I realized that there wasn't too much things on the defensive side, and I figured there was one more thing that I should look at, and
that's my subscribe button. And if you guys are new here, I
make videos once a week, stuff like this. I do it in my free time. I do work full-time at a golf course. They call me a golf pro, which is very different from a professional golfer. If you flip-flop them, they mean very different things in my business. A golf pro works at a golf course and pretty much handles everything operations side, and is a master of golf, whatever. A professional golfer is like a professional Rocket League player. They make a lot of money, they hit cool shots, and they make us look way worse than we are. But yeah, I love making Rocket League content, and if you guys want to help me out, small YouTube creators like me, we benefit a lot from any comment, any likes. If you guys watch the video all the way through, hopefully you want to watch the video all the way through, but nonetheless, there's this website called ballchasing.com, which is absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't gone on there, please take a look at it. You can upload your own replays. It's just a great website. I frequent it just to check out how I'm doing, and I compare myself to other players and other groups of players. And I noticed a trend. I noticed that there is a huge discrepancy in shots, assists, and saves from the majority of players, Plat, Gold, and Diamond, and Grand Champion. By looking at just the shots, and this is on a per game basis, and the average shot per game per player, in Gold, it's 4.36. In Platinum, 4.83, and in Diamond, 3.94. And this is much higher than Grand Champ's 2.99 shots per game. But that's not a big deal. That's fine. Grand Champs, they have less opportunity to hit shots because there's better defense and there's better ways of protecting the ball and gaining possession, and possession changes really quick. And then the last thing I looked at was saves. And this is where it got really interesting. There was 0.9 saves per game in Gold, 0.98 in Platinum, and 1.09 in Diamond. Now this is all up against Grand Champ's 1.38. So taking a look at the numbers across the board, you can see that there's a lot of shots made in the three ranks of Gold, Platinum, and Diamond, and not too many saves. And at Grand Champ, you see a big drop off on shots taken and a big increase of saves made. What the numbers mean is that Grand Champs are saving more of the shots that are being taken at them. There are less shots being taken, but they're doing a better job of saving them. So how does this compare to your rank now if you're Platinum, Diamond, if you're Gold? Well, look at it this way. You don't have to worry about taking shots because if you're in Platinum, your teammates are taking 4.8 shots per game anyways. So if you're playing ranked standard, you've got two other teammates taking about 5 shots per game. That's 10 shots. Platinum's only making 0.98 saves a game per player. So you've got 10 shots. They're making 2 saves. That's some crazy math. But if you play good defense, you don't have to worry about playing good offense, and you will rank up. You'll take yourself up from Gold to Plat to Diamond so quick that you'll be freaking out and wondering why you weren't practicing defense earlier. But
defense is boring.
Well, yeah, it is, but I think in a game and what we're at right now, you're practicing mechanics all the time. You're going into free play, you're working on speed, you're working on the things that get you quicker and get you on the offensive side of the field. So why aren't we practicing defense? People aren't practicing it. And I'm here to tell you that it's probably more important than you think, especially for ranking up. Now, this is really boring. You don't want to practice defense, but I want to show you just a couple things that I think will help increase your defense right away. And trust me, if you do these things, if you just understand them and practice them maybe 10 to 20% of the time that you're practicing, you will rank up. I promise you, you will rank up. And if you're stuck in Gold, if you're stuck in Platinum or Diamond, or even if you're stuck in Champion and you want to grind your way up to Grand Champ, this may be the breakthrough you need. So the game has evolved a lot. Now we're starting to see people take the ball to the ceiling, they're playing the game upside down, they're making double taps and these flicks, and they're passing into their teammate, and they're dribbling into the goal, and now defense is a lot harder. But it isn't actually that complicated. Let me break it down to you guys this way. I analyzed 5 different Grand Champion games and broke them down into 5 different defensive scenarios that I thought were the most important. Ground defense, aerial defense, corner defense, a special type of defense, and finally, a defense I call offensive defense. We'll get into all those right now. So the first offensive scenario we're going to talk about is corner defense. Let me just start out and give you guys a tip. Be the last guy back. In every scenario, your teammates are sweaty ball chasers and they're just going to ruin everything. So when in doubt, just go behind your other two teammates and wait for them to mess up and basically have their back. That'll help a lot. But let's move on. So the ball's in the corner. The orange team already had one attacker go to try to stop the ball. It got through him, and now the person on the wall in the second position is waiting for the next hit. This is almost a perfect case scenario as the guy on the ground at the back post is in a prime position. The blue team should recognize that there's pretty much no chance at a goal here. Unless there's some sort of slowdown or crazy play, this ball is pretty much coming back their way. So the guy on the ground now has the back post, is waiting for the guy on the wall to potentially miss. If he does, he has the next save because he has the entire goal covered. The guy who missed the ball, here's a little offense for you. The guy who missed the ball now either gets to rotate back in, or if the player on the wall gets a good hit or the player on the back post gets a hit, he can move downfield and wait for the pass. If you are in this scenario, the ball is in the corner, please try to be the guy who is in the back. Your other teammates are probably going to go into the wall or try to get boosts or take the center of the goal. Just swing it wide, give yourself some room, let your teammates both miss. If they do, that's fine. You've got the entire goal covered. If they get it, great. You're in a good position to move downfield with them. It's a win-win. Okay, the next defense is wait. The best way to defend against this is to just keep moving your car and pray for the best. So ground defense is pretty closely related to shadow defense, which there are a lot of videos out there to watch. I can link a few in the description, but essentially what we're going to look at here is just how this guy on defense was able to pretty much stop any play from developing because of his quick movement. So shadow defense starts to become a really big thing that you need to learn and be able to do pretty much every time consistently, and luckily there's only really two things you need to worry about. Maintain the same speed against the other player and how he got to the same side as the guy who was playing the ball. Those two things alone will basically secure you a good shadow defense scenario. One last thing to note here, and this is really important in twos especially, this blue guy was the last guy back. He went up to challenge pretty early and had a hit. However, his best case scenario was a 50-50, which would have opened up the field for the other orange guy because his teammate was still recovering. So he did an excellent job of not jumping for the ball right away and making sure he had enough time for his teammate to get back in a worst case scenario. So I made it to aerial defense, and this is actually a lot easier than the other ones in my opinion because a lot of the time it's just a waiting game. You're trying to see if there is even a reason for you to go up in the air, because honestly at gold, platinum, and diamond, the aerials made, they might flop, and if you wait for them to flop, you have a huge opening to go and attack the other team. But this is Grand Champ, so I'm going to show you how you should probably position on the wall to defend most aerials that are coming towards you. A lot of saves as you rank up require someone to be on the wall to defend any aerial or high hit. A lot of times the other team is trying to hit a ball high above the net, so somebody goes and they waste boost. So in this rank, it's important that somebody does stay on the wall. So in this scenario, on this aerial defense, it's a perfect position for the orange team as one is on the wall and one is in the goal. The guy on the wall doesn't have to spend any boost to get up to the same height as the guy dribbling it because he is on the wall and stuck to it. All he has to do is jump off and actually requires a small amount of boost. Luckily, the guy on the ground only has to deal with one or maybe a couple angles from the guy who's aerialing. Once you get to a higher rank, you're going to start seeing flip resets, and that might make a little difference in all this, but for the time being, your aerials, you're just going to defend the goal pretty much by staying on the back of it and coming out when it's necessary. For those of you that are still around, congratulations, you made it to the final defensive technique. This one goes out to everyone who doesn't want to do defense, who hated this video, and now wants to play some offense. Well, it's a little bit of both. I call it offensive defense. And for everybody who overextends a little bit more often than they want to, this is the type of defense you should start to live by. And if you can, you are going to be just fine. For this type of save to come to fruition, there needs to be two scenarios. Number one, you are driving back towards your goal and you are not in position to basically go on the wall or take the back post, or you're anticipating a miss from your teammate or the other team. If these two conditions are met, you're able to make this safely because if you miss, it's fine, you're on your side, you can recover and make another save. This is better for people who are always on offense because you can still play defense while technically still looking like you're about to shoot on goal. So start to look for this a lot more in your games. The one thing that worked for me a lot was watching my teammates especially. If they're on the wall or they're going for a save, watching them closely and anticipating a miss opened up the opportunity for me to then jump in and stop the other team from making any type of play. Or you could just demo, lol. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you learned something in this one and you could take it to your own game and see some rank ups. Let me know below if you do rank up. Let me know what your favorite part was. Leave a subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see videos like this in the future. And I hope you guys have a good day. See ya.
got something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good